We keep on moving, we keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We keep on moving, we keep on moving
Show.
along.
And I want
we
to
keep on
caveat. I got to put a caveat out there first. Is that I am not sponsoring today's guest, but he has come across something that I found very, very interesting that we may be able to use. I'm going to leave that up to you, but I want to welcome Andy Ellwood, and he invented Stretch. Okay, he's the CEO of Stretch, and as I said, he's not sponsoring me, nor is he paying the Walk Weekly podcast, but he has come across something that I'm very interested in. Maybe we could use it. Maybe I don't know yet, but hey, stay here. With that said, Andy Ellwood, thank you for joining the Walk Weekly.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited for the conversation.
All righty then. Let me tell you a little bit before I turn it over to Andy. Andy Ellwood is a founder and CEO of Stretch, an AI-powered grocery platform, reimagining how families navigate the rising costs and complexity of feeding their households. With a career spanning consumer tech, mobility, coaching, community building, Andy has a track record of turning everyday problems into empowering solutions. And he has helped several companies. He's a serial entrepreneur, number one. And he was behind certain companies acquired by Facebook and Google. And he also launched global learning communities and led teams dedicated to unlocking human potential. His core philosophy, make room for many. That's not like the stock, the good of one outweighs the good of the many, or the many outweighs the good of the one. But anyway, I think I'll throw that in there for you guys. But anyway, let's continue with this intro for Andy. Make room for many. And I'm going to ask him about that. Shapes how he builds and leads and leading and using technology teams and as a bridge to expand access, clarity, and opportunity. With Stretch, Andy is tackling one of the most universal challenges facing Americans by giving families real-time visibility into prices, savings, smarter choices. He's building a platform, folks, designed to reduce financial stress, return power to everyday consumers, and a little bit of personal information about Andy. Andy is a passionate chef, which I would never be as a chef. He's a storyteller and community catalyst. He lives in New York City with his wife, daughter, and rescue dog. And with that said, I want to welcome Andy Ellwood to the Walk Weekly podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, Andy.
Excited to be here, sir.
Tell me what you're doing. What product are you offering? Talk to me about that.
I think something that shaped my life pretty early on is I'm the oldest of 4 kids. And so I've always kind of had this big brother obligation in my life. And I like it. I'm a tall guy. I like being able to help people get things off the top shelf. I love helping give people a boost over the fence. And so kind of that big brother energy, the big brother that you like, not the one that was mean to you. And so in my career, I've kind of thought about the same thing. Like, how can I take what I've learned, take what I've seen as being maybe a little bit further down the path and share it with people who are coming up behind me. So education's always been a big part of my life in mentoring, leading different communities. But I just love bringing people together around a good meal, a good conversation, and if we can use some technology to make that meal a little bit cheaper, let's do it.
All right, tell us a little bit before I go into questions. Just give our listeners, our fans and listeners, an overview of this product.
Yeah, so Stretch is a new app that's just launching. And if you go to the App Store and type in Stretch Groceries, you'll be able to find it. And effectively, it's a smart grocery shopping list. All you got to do is type in this week's grocery list or take a picture of the list that you've already made on the side of your fridge or the back of an envelope. And Stretch will look at your list, and then it will go find all of the things that are on your list at local stores and come back to you and tell you how much is it going to cost at each of the stores that are close by. So it might be $70 here, it might be $80 there, and $110 there. And you'll know that turning left or turning right out of your driveway can save you $20 or $30 this week.
That begs the question here. When you download the app, okay, I download the app, and I want to shop. Now, are you only covering certain stores, or it's regardless of whoever carries that product that people are looking for? How does that work?
Yes, we're a new company. So we're not in every store yet. We're still working on partnerships and bringing more and more stores on board. But we have 30,000 stores already across the country. And so those are the stores where we can find that information and be able to look for you. And the thing with grocery shopping is you're not just searching for one item, you're searching for 10 items, 20 items, 30 items, right? And so the kind of the technology part, the hard part that we're doing behind the scenes is being able to make sure that we can compare the things at this store to the things at this store to the things at this store so that you get everything on your list. And so you build your list and you write milk. Well, in my family, that means almond milk, and in your family, that might mean something different. And so the grocery
lactose free.
There you go.
There you go.
And so the smart shopping list actually gets to know my family differently than it gets to know your family. And so when you write milk, it knows you mean lactose free. When I write milk, it knows I mean almond milk, unsweetened. And so the more that you use Stretch, the smarter it gets, and the more it's going to be able to help you find your favorite products at all the stores close by, and then you can decide for your whole entire shopping list how much you want to spend. Sometimes you want to go to the store that's closest to you, so you don't have to drive too far. So you might spend a little bit more. Other times you might say, hey, it's worth it for me to drive an extra 2 or 3 miles to save $30. Everybody has a different proximity pricing preference is a phrase that we say.
Okay.
How far would you drive to save how much money? Sometimes it depends on the day of the week and how many kids are in the backseat of the car.
My concern too, and I thought that your product would probably be a good thing for people to look into, is that in the urban areas, a lot of the supermarkets, like Stop and Shop and all these, they're gone because for whatever reason, maybe it's a crime situation, but my people that live in these urban areas, they need access to good food, vegetables, this and that and this and that. So when you approached me about the interview, I was thinking, oh yeah, man, maybe that could solve an issue that we have now that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Not all of us. But those ones that demographically reside in urban areas where they're moving supermarkets and stores out of there. Yeah. So I was thinking about how my people could, incorporate a product like yours. So that's you have the floor now. So I'm gonna leave it up to you.
I've thought a lot about this. In past company, was based out of Washington D.C. and there are tons of food deserts all across Washington D.C. And we thought a lot about the idea of stores don't know how much business there is because the demand is not aggregated all in one place, right? There's a bunch of dumb shopping lists, right? You got a Post-it note on the side of your fridge. Somebody wrote it down on the back of an envelope. Somebody texted their spouse. But all of that isn't consolidated in one place, so you can't show the demand that a community has. And so sometimes stores, are not able to stay open because it's too competitive or a bunch of other factors. But I've thought a lot about this of if a lot of Stretch users were all in one place, we would actually be able to maybe work on behalf of a community to say, this is what all of us want to buy. Who's willing to sell it to us? And so it's a future plan. It's not something we're doing today, but it is something I have thought about.
Well, you could probably get into the wholesale, buying for a local area.
Yeah, maybe
right?
so.
A bulk purchase or something like that.
Yeah, it's something we've thought about. So it's we're still a young company. We're still just growing, but it's something that I think most people are just sick and tired of the games that grocery stores play. I think most grocery stores know more about me than I know about them. And things are on sale, things are on coupons, things are only for loyalty members, things are changing prices, and they jack up the price this week and they lower the price next week. How am I supposed to keep track of all that? I'm just trying to feed my family. And if we have one place where I can at least try and get a little bit of relief, a little bit of help, that's something that I'm hopeful that Stretch can become for the shopper.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a demo from you on how to use it. That way I can tell my people I tried it and this is what I think.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to do that if you can send me a link. Is it subscriber based, this app?
No, it's a free app. You can download it for free, and it's free to use for forever.
Really?
Yeah.
So how do you make money then?
When we are going to add delivery to the app in the near future. So if you decide you want to pay the premium, you want to pay a little extra to have it delivered to your home, they give us a little bit of a referral fee, and so that's where we're going to start off monetizing. And then down the road, there will be maybe some different opportunities around intelligence, like I mentioned about like understanding the demand of an area. Stores would love to know that.
Right.
So if we can anonymize, a bunch of shoppers and say, hey, these 1,000 shoppers all want to buy these things. Do you want to sell it to them? There's a business model there as well, and then maybe some light advertising. Just because you gotta find ways to stay in business long enough to help people. But if we ever do advertising, it's going to be based on things that you actually want, not just whatever somebody paid to get in front of you.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to break it down to where I go, which I'm going to test. I'm going to go and download your app. Not today, but I'm going to download it. And I'm going to... It's totally functioning now? It's functioning?
It is. Yeah. So there's still a few bugs, but we have a big feedback section in the middle of the app because we're new and we want to know how we can be better.
When did you roll the company out, by the way?
I decided to start building it last summer, and we're just going live with the app in the App Store as we speak, but we've already had about 10,000 people find the app, and they're excited about it. So
you had 10,000 submissions already?
Already, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of feedback are you getting from them? Have you had the time to look at some of the comments these people made on the product?
Yeah, we've had some people who, in certain cities, right, in certain neighborhoods, we're covering 5 or 6 different stores, and so they're able to, get a lot of value very quickly. We have other people who, we don't have as many stores in their area, so they're begging us to get more of their stores, built up. So, but all in all, I think almost everybody that we talk to says, I love this idea. I've always wanted something like this, and so we're doing our best to make dreams come true over here, Walt.
Hey man, you're way ahead of the game because you're in the execution phase. I mean, you're rolling out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not just an idea, man. That's great. That's fantastic. That's what I tell people. You got an idea, do something. Just don't think about it. I'm not saying do something crazy, but once you do your initial proof of concept and all that kind of stuff, at least get to that point. Then you make a decision on whether to move forward or not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we do push. Not just thinking about stuff, but you gotta perform. All righty then. And I also noticed from your bio that you sold a couple of companies to the big boys like Facebook, and who was the other one you sold to?
To Google, yeah.
Yeah, you sold your. Oh man, you don't really have to do anything, then, Andy. Huh?
I was a member of those teams. They weren't. I didn't start those companies, so I was on the team. It was a rocket ship that I was very lucky to be a part of. But once you start building companies to solve problems, you kind of get addicted to it, and so I came back for more.
All right, gotcha. All right, so look, Andy, let's be real here. Are grocery prices actually broken, or do you think the system is working exactly how it's supposed to be?
Great question. With grocery prices being up 32% since the pandemic. It made sense. The grocery prices went up, for the pandemic. There was a huge
because there's less production.
All sorts of reasons why it made sense that grocery prices went up. But a lot of other things where the prices went up, they eventually came back down. They eventually slowed down. They didn't stay up 30%. And and the reason is it's kind of the if you don't tell them, I won't tell them. If people are willing to pay this, we'll just keep charging it, right? There's no downward pressure. And, we think the retailers are doing exactly what they should be doing for themselves, right? Exactly what's right for their business model. Makes a ton of sense that if they can get away with charging 30% more, they're going to. But as a shopper, I don't want to pay 30% more. It's not working for me. And so that's a little bit of the motivation behind what we're doing. And I think it's a challenge that, it's a lot of messy data, right? An average grocery store has 40,000 products inside of it, right? 40,000 different products, and all of them have a price, and all of them have a coupon, and all of them have a loyalty price, and all of them go on sale at some time during the year.
Right.
So how do you keep track of that at one store, much less keep track of the 4 or 5 or 6 stores, that are in your neighborhood? So it's a challenge for sure, but it's with the new technology that's coming out with artificial intelligence, with the new pricing processes that the retailers are rolling out. Some of it's a little bit more visible than it used to be.
Okay.
And so we're just doing our best to interpret it all and be able to present it in an easy way for the shopper to see.
All right, you grew up where every dollar mattered, right? Do you think people in power understand that kind of pressure now with food prices and everything going up?
I think more and more the top end of American society is so out of touch with everybody else.
Or you talk about the 10%. We can go up to the 1%. So the 1% is so far up in
So far.
Andromeda some damn where.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But the 10%, it's too much of a gap. Too much of a gap.
It's huge. It's huge.
So you took that into consideration when you built this. Was that one of your motivating factors?
Yeah. Well, and I talked to over 1,000 shoppers last year. In 47 states. We didn't quite get to all 50 states, but talked to over 1,000 shoppers in 47 states last year, and the thing that struck me was 84% of the people that we spoke to said that they were worried about how they were going to pay for groceries next month compared to how they paid for them this month. They thought they wouldn't be able to afford as many groceries next month as they could afford this month because grocery prices were getting high and they were affecting everybody. And when you think about that 84%, right, that number is up, I would imagine, quite significantly since before the pandemic. There were people in the upper middle class and even middle class who grocery prices were not the source of pain for them. But now it's affecting everybody. Right?
It's a source of pain for everybody. Yeah. You go get a small little, like what we used to do in the past. You go get just a small bag of groceries. You're talking $135 for like 9 items.
Yep.
I don't know how we're going to do it.
So people are trading down. People are buying, at different stores. People are buying different brands. People are opting out of brands altogether. So you're getting the generic stuff, I guess. Yep, going with the generic stuff, the store brands, and some of the store brands are great. And if you've never tried them, you wouldn't know the difference. So I think that the stores are paying attention to it. The new CEO of Kroger came out talking about that they're going to be trying to lower prices. The CEO of Walmart says they're going to lower prices. We'll see if they actually do. But they're messaging. The retailers are messaging saying that they hear us, but I don't know if they actually do. And so that's part of what gets me excited about Stretch and the community that we're building is that every new download that we get, every new person who says, "Hey, I want to see pricing transparency for my groceries," is a vote that I can be able to go and hopefully represent our community, the community of shoppers that we're working with, and be able to go to the retailers that are in our pipeline of people that we're trying to do deals with, and say, this is another 1,000 shoppers downloaded the app this week. Like people want this. This is what people are asking us for. Do you want to be one of the first retailers to participate, to join us in this change? And so I'm really hopeful that we'll be able to work together.
How receptive have they been up to now? What is your experience?
I've actually been pretty surprised. I got to be honest. I wasn't sure how they were going to react because they don't really want their price right next to their price right next to their price. That's not.
No, they don't. No.
But if you think about what Zillow did for homes, and the retailers, the realtors didn't like it, right? When that first came out. But now it's a tool that they use. When you think about what Expedia and Orbitz and Travelocity and Priceline did for travel, the travel agents didn't like it, but now they use it as a tool. They use it as a resource. That's what I hope that we're able to do for the industry is align the demand. Like I'm a shopper and this is what I want to buy, with the supply. I'm a store. I have things to sell, and can we match them up in a better way than we do right now? Because right now everybody's just kind of shopping blind.
Okay. Let me ask you this. If I drop $100, all right, into a grocery store for a family of 4, All right, what are you doing differently than the average shopper?
If that family is using the Stretch app, so what we're going to be able to do is show you your shopping list across each of the different stores, and you'll be able to understand, at this store it's $70, so you can buy $30 more of something. At this store it's exactly $100, and so you can't buy anything more. At this store it's 110, so you need to take a few things out of your cart. But you'll be able to know that before you actually get to the checkout. And I think that's the big thing that people are really liking, is that they know what to expect when they walk into the store, right?
So basically, they're doing comparison shopping initially right up front then.
From
Right?
from the comfort of their couch. Yep.
So if I put in a product, let's say I need a dishwashing liquid, and I put it in, it's going to show me the price at X amount of stores, more than just at one.
Exactly.
Ah, that's good. It's going to take some patience, but is there a quick way to put in a grocery list? Can you just cut and paste it into the app?
How do you write your grocery list?
My wife does.
No,
we put it on it. We use on the to-do list. That's where we put our stuff. That way we can share it.
Yeah. So you just take a picture of it, and you can just upload the picture directly to Stretch. Stretch will turn it into a full shopping list for you, and it'll tell you the total price of every item on your list at every store close by.
Man, that's sharp, man. I'm gonna put it up. Yeah, I think there's some possibilities with this, depending on where you are geographically. So. But geographically, I mean, right now, are you rolling it out region by region? How are you rolling it out?
Yeah, we're nationwide. We are in just about every state, and we do pretty good urban, near urban, and suburban. Rural is a little bit challenging because stores are further away, so it's tougher to compare. But for places where there's the Walmarts and Targets and Aldi's and Kroger's and HEB's and Wegmans and a bunch of different retailers, we do okay, and we're adding more stores every day. So if there's a store, if you download the app and you don't see your favorite store, there's a button that says Request Store, and then our team gets all of that data, so we can make sure that we're adding the most popular stores that people want to see on the map.
Right, now, what about the small mom and pop shops? You don't deal with them, do you?
Not yet. We're hoping to, at some point in the future, create a self-serve model where they'll be able to add their store, add their prices, and add their retailers. Because a lot of mom and pop stores do really, really well compared to some of the big box folks. They're more competitive. They've got a better product selection. They have more regional or local products. So we want to give them the chance to be able to compete for every shopping list as well.
Okay. And there's no cost, so you get paid on the merchant side of the fence then.
Yep. Yeah. We're charging the retailers and the brands.
Gotcha. So you mark up there. Yeah, that's really cool. Well, I tell you, Andy, I like it. I think my people are going to like it.
I hope they do, and I hope they'll let me know. I hope they'll let me know that they heard about it from you.
Well, I tell you what, but you're not charging anything for the app. I was getting ready to say you could, put / the Walt Weekly and you get a discount, but there's no need for that. You took that away from us, man. Man.
Well, sorry.
Oh, I don't know about you, Andy, man. But anyway, I'm so happy that you took the time. I know we've been trying to get together for a long time. And we finally, and it was worth the wait. I tell you, it was really worth the wait. I tried to get to your website. I put stretch.com, stretch.ai. What is the website?
Stretchgroceries.com.
Stretch Groceries. You hear that, folks? Stretchgroceries.com. It'll be in the show notes. I'll make sure of that. But that's great, man. I wish you all the luck in the world with this, because I think you hit a part of a need. There's a need for that.
Yeah,
I don't see anything out there that can match it right now.
Yeah, well, that's the hope, and our hope is that this is just the beginning of people being able to feel more confident in feeding their families, and more confident when they go to the grocery store that they're going to be able to get everything that they need for a price that they can afford. Grocery shopping shouldn't be this hard, and we're trying to use technology to do the hard part, so that you don't have to go grocery shopping alone, right? Stretch is kind of your companion. It comes along with you, and just as you're building your shopping list, it gets a little bit smarter. And every new person that uses Stretch gives us a little bit more power, to go negotiate on behalf of our shoppers, to get better data, to get better deals. And I think that feeding our families shouldn't be this hard. And so every new download we get gives us a little bit more swagger, a little bit more to be able to help make this all happen for all of us.
I want to thank you, for Andy, for interviewing with the Walk Weekly podcast. I think what you have is worth. I mean, my curiosity is going right through the roof right now because I think there's something that can be done. And folks, we have a line right to the CEO of the company. So give it a try. You want to test it? It doesn't cost you anything. There's some potential there for savings. There's some potential there for stores in your neighborhood to get on the list. If they're not there, you want to get them on the list. And, great grocery stores, I think you're going to be rolling that out down the road a little bit. Okay, so that's going to be good. It'll be good for our local businesses also. That grocery stores. All right, so that'll be good, man. Yeah, thank you for coming on the Walk Weekly and sharing this with us.
Yeah,
all right, you
so
take
much.
care. And I know we'll be talking in the future, so.
We keep on
All
moving.
right, have a good weekend. And
We
thank you.
keep on moving
All right,
along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. Yeah. No, we ain't slowing it down. Let's go.
We ain't slowing down, baby, come and show me how. Gotta do it right now,